Benjamin. And 3 Days Grace. Live. September 23rd at Casey Center. With special guest Return to Dust. Get tickets now at HyVeeTips.com. Laser 103.3 presents Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace.
I'm gonna rock the house.
Oh, yes.
Mom, Dad's being weird again.
Luscious.
Honey,
So full.
it's just grass.
Oh, it's so much more than just grass. It's a healthier, greener, and more luscious lawn. Yours can be too.
Look at you.
With Kabursky Brothers Lawn Care.
Remember, no shoes on the lawn. Because you're so beautiful.
Call or click today.
Murph and Andy, proudly presented by Ramsey Subaru, live and on demand across Iowa everywhere from the Channel Seed Studios. This is Murph and Andy. Murph and Andy, connected by cellular advantage.
It's Murph and Andy on a Monday, and for the first time, we are live in Iowa and Sweden. Welcome, Andy.
Yeah, how about that? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a little crazy.
It just
Cool.
popped right up. Yeah, it's no big deal. It's so this podcast thing, we should have done that years ago. Yeah, I'm in Stockholm, and it is 8:00 here. We're exactly 7 hours ahead of you. And it's crazy because the sun doesn't set until 10:45.
Wow.
And it's back up again around 3 in the morning, or maybe 2:30 in the morning, even earlier. It's crazy. The sun is barely down at all right now.
That's a quick night. So do you have Stockholm Syndrome?
That's the one where you start becoming defensive of your captors. Is that right?
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I think you start to connect with your captors. Also, Andy, if you move your head just perfectly, it can look like you're wearing a bowl on your head.
I know. I was trying to get that effect. Yeah, these big lights right here behind me. I was experimenting with a few different podcasting potential locales here. I was going to go out on the street, but it is sprinkling rain a little bit, and there are we're at this hotel here, and they have speakers right above pumping out music, and it was just too loud. So I came
ABBA?
in.
It's just nonstop ABBA.
I'll get back to ABBA soon. We went to the ABBA museum today, actually. But yeah, not ABBA, some sort of techno punk. But it was the choice was I could go to a boring conference room. I could go to my room like I do in Mexico, and we know how much you guys have complained about that. So I was like, no, I'm gonna branch out a little bit. I'm gonna come down here to the hotel lobby, and the one funny thing about coming to Northern Europe, and it's been 30 years since I've been here, but I remembered it immediately, is that everybody speaks really good English. They understand English, they speak it very, very well, and no Americans ever speak Swedish or Norwegian or Danish or Finnish. So you can't understand Dick, and they understand everything that you're saying. So
Right.
Hopefully I'm not ruining anybody's time here, but I'm getting some funny looks here. I've got my little ring light and microphone. I'm all set up, but
how
so
many
far,
people are in the lobby right now, and how many are cutting eyes at you like, what is this guy doing?
This hotel is full right now. It's full, and I don't know. They're just kind of going about their business.
Yeah,
the
they're
Swedes
chill.
are very, very nice people.
It is one nice thing about this world of nonstop social media and communication. I can remember, I'm sure you can too, where it used to be if you had a microphone and a camera on the street, everybody would stop, everybody would notice. Now there's so many cameras walking around any city street at any given time with microphones and video and things that people don't even notice television cameras anymore.
It's no big
common.
deal at all. Here, I'll tilt this a little bit so you can see the front door. There you go.
Okay.
Now you can see Sweden.
Oh, yeah. I see some people walking in. They look friendly. Family coming in. Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines, not Stockholm, West Des Moines sets the table for sports and more. Coming up, Team USA wins gold, Jaws dominates, and Summer Sensations, part of sports and more. That's all coming up. Guest House Tavern, Northwest-inspired Midwestern hospitality right now, and it's been since Wednesday, high or low since our last show.
Presented by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
They're all finished with the 4th of July holiday up there and back to planning everybody's futures, managing money, trying to take care of you the way that they do there at Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax. Find them at wealthcharterretirement.com. High and low for me. I got all sorts. Low, I will go with the plane flight over here was full.
You didn't get one of those beds?
Oh God, no.
Those $15,000 first class beds.
We flew to Chicago, which anytime you fly into Chicago, you're playing with fire, but no problem there. But then we had to go to Newark, and we have been talking about how screwed up the Newark airport has been this year since the start of the year. It actually went fine. Didn't have any trouble there. But then we got on that plane, and it's me and the two kids, and then across the row is Kahala and a woman with a baby on her lap. And then another random person completely unrelated to that woman. And then in front of the woman with the baby on her lap was her husband with a 2-year-old. And oh my God. Again,
prayers up.
Wishing that I had I need a hassle cam in life, like a hassle cam. I wear it on my glasses. At any time I see something that would just floor Chris Hassel, I just pop it on and he immediately sees it. But this woman had a lap baby the whole time. Baby cried like crazy, but the baby was nothing compared to the 2-year-old who stood on the seat and cried into the general space for 5 hours. So everybody was, using their headphones and shoving as many earplugs into their ears as they could.
Just trying.
Oh my God, it was.
And
it
the
was
parents,
so
you feel
cramped.
for them too, unless they're parents that have just not tried at all to have their kids behave. And you do run into that occasionally, but I have been that parent on an airplane
and
with a kid
it's
you
the
couldn't
deal.
make quiet, and it's a terrible feeling.
It's the deal that you make. It's okay, when you have kids, everybody around you just looks the other way, grins and bears it. But then the deal is that then you have to do that, right? So, but it's so cramped, and it was an 8-hour flight, so it was, we're really tired. But man, they gave you, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't remember the last time I'd gotten an in-flight meal. I think we got 2 full meals and a bunch of snacks and stuff. But they handed me a beer. I was like, it was complimentary beer. I was like, oh yeah, you got Stella Artois. Handed me one, warm.
Hard to complain, though. Hard to complain.
Yeah. So, but we didn't have any trouble, but we got in, and immediately we landed, and it was 7 a.m. And for us, we were exhausted, totally ready to go to bed. But the day is just starting here, so we had to go out and tour all around and stay up for as long as possible. So last night, got done with, a hard day of touristing and popped a big old Ambien, went to bed, me and Eddie. Eddie's sleeping next to me in these European beds, like the European.
Just to be clear, he didn't pop the Ambien. It was
no,
just
I
you.
did. He didn't need one, yeah. But the European accommodations, as I'm sure you know, Murph, everything is much smaller than it is in the United, like everything,
including the people.
The people, yeah, everything. But what I think they probably think of as like a queen size bed is barely a full size bed for us. So Eddie's foot is in my back and his hand is in my face like all day. But I woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning and was wide awake.
That's when the sun came up, though. Too,
yeah,
right?
and the sun was up again, right? So, but I was wide awake. So jet lagged. I did take a nap a little while ago, but trying to put yourself on that schedule, and then you get on that schedule, and then it's time to come home again. So that's always rough. But hi, I'm here with my entire family. My mom put together this trip. She's turning 82 this summer. She uses the ski poles to walk around, and we're not going to get another chance like this. This will be it. But it's wonderful, and everybody's getting along and having fun and seeing all the cousins together. And that's a great thing. This will be a lifetime memory for us. And those are good to feel them in the moment. You're like, okay, I need to record as much of this as possible mentally and with my phone, because this will be, all of these kids will be telling the story of this trip for the rest of their lives.
Yes, they will. Stacking memories. That's so important. I'm so glad you're doing that. And yeah, you have to try to stay in the moment as much as you can and realize it, because it will go fast. Next thing you know, you'll be back on that plane, which will be worse because then you're headed home. The excitement is gone.
Yeah, and then you get jet lag going home.
Yeah, that's rough. So the poles that you're like the skiing type poles that your mom walks with, are those more for balance or for a workout? Balance.
They're for balance, 100% for balance.
I see people using those.
She's got the big, squishy shoes. Everybody around here has
what are those called? Konas or
Hokas?
Hokas?
Yeah. I actually have a pair of these too, and they're so squishy. It feels like you're walking on some kind of pillow. But we're walking everywhere, and everybody has those on, which is funny because I remember the last time I was in Europe, which again, that's 30 years ago. That's how you could really tell all the Europeans from the Americans is their shoes. The Europeans just always have the weirdest shoes, but everybody's wearing the Hokas and the Brookses and the Ons and, the super squishy running shoes, walking shoes. So it's a little bit harder to tell them all apart. But, Stockholm is a really big city, but it doesn't have any skyscrapers, so to speak. So you can't really tell where the downtown is. Just kind of all looks the same, but
it's Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, Stockholm is built on an archipelago, which is a group of islands, and there are 14 different islands, and so there's just waterways everywhere. And we have been on a tour bus repeatedly over the last 2 days, which sounds kind of totally American, but it's been great because you learn so much, and these tour guides are just storytellers. They're great storytellers, and they're usually retired men who were teachers or something. They were kind of good at this, and that's what they do now with their time in retirement is they lead these tours. And Stockholm is not a city that I ever thought, oh God, I really want to go to Stockholm someday. It's just really the start of our trip. Mostly we're going to Norway, where my mother's family is from. But it is fascinating, and there is a lot of incredible history to it. You just don't know anything about it. So the tour guide's really bringing that to life. But today we went to the Vasa Museum, and it is a museum literally built around a 16th century warship that was recovered out of the Baltic Sea, the harbor right here in downtown Stockholm. And it's got this really funny story. It's the most intact. Andrew, maybe you can find a picture of the Vasa ship, Stockholm. But it is. I should have sent you that already. I apologize. But it is. It was built by King Gustav in the 1600s, and in 1620, it was launched like the Titanic with all this fanfare as the biggest, most powerful warship in the world. And it's like a point of Swedish pride. And King Gustav is going to be able to, he's at war with 4 other countries at the time, like with Lithuania and Estonia and Russia and Finland. And so that's it right there. Good pull, Andrew. This is the ship, completely intact. So they take the ship out, and it has 64 cannons, as you can see on the lower part of the deck there, below the deck, actually, along the walls, whatever. It's got some technical term. I don't remember what it is, but they have 2 stories, two layers of cannon doors. So there's 64 cannons in it, and each weighs over a ton. So this thing is loaded to the teeth. And it's, it's this point of pride. It seems like something that we would build in the United States now and that like Trump would have a parade around. But he brings it out and everybody in Stockholm comes out and they're all watching from the shore as this ship launches. And word has gotten out to these other countries that Sweden is at war with. Watch out, man. Here comes the Vasa. And your ass is grass now, man. This Vasa is going to take over the world. And so the Vasa shoves off into the bay on its very first day, and it's got, 250 people on it. And the Swedes do a lot of things well, but apparently at this point, shipbuilding was not their thing.
Oh, man. Go down.
It doesn't have enough ballast in it. It doesn't have enough weight at the bottom to hold it upright in any kind of wind. Well, it's barely off the shore. And it gets a little southern breeze. It tilts to the port side a little too much. Those cannon doors, where guys are like waving out the cannon door, they start taking on water. The thing sinks right there in front of everybody.
Day one.
Like a quarter of a mile into its first voyage, the whole thing sinks to the bottom of the harbor. And this is the ocean. This is the Baltic Sea. It's not, this in Gray's Lake where you could put get a Jeep with a winch and just pull the thing out.
Yeah, there's no tugboat coming in to rescue
It goes
this.
all the way down. Like just the tips of the masts are sticking out. And like 60 people drown. It goes from the proudest moment in Swedish military history to the lowest point.
This is Aaron Rodgers running out with the American flag in his first Jets game.
It's just terrible. And it's like, it's so embarrassing. But in 1961, they pulled it up. They finally found it and they pulled it up and it was a huge deal. But they built this museum around it, which was fascinating that you could have this cool museum around one ship. But this ship is now the most intact ship, definitely from the 1600s, probably even from like the 1800s, anywhere in the world. It's perfect. I mean, it literally has.
Really cool.
It's got no miles on it.
Yeah, right.
So
didn't reach 1 mile.
No,
let me have a look at that odometer.
It's crazy. So yeah, we went to
100
that.
feet.
Went to the ABBA Museum today, and that was a lot of fun. And watching Kahala and the kids dance around all the ABBA music, and
that's cool.
Yeah, it was, and they've donated all their stuff because they're from Stockholm, and
they've got more money than they'll ever need.
Oh man, they've got their own, like Bjorn and Benny, I think each have an island.
They don't even have to tour. They just send their holograms out on stage.
They do. They saw the whole making of that. That was really, really cool. Anyway, but I'm a little museumed out. But tomorrow we're going to Denmark, so enough of Stockholm.
I'm going high, and I'm going as far removed from Sweden as you possibly can. I'm talking Clear Lake on the Forth, America. I mean, we've been going there for 20 years on the Forth. Most crowded I've ever seen it by far. And you combine the most crowded I've ever seen it with temperatures in the 90s, and it was hot. It was hot. It was crowded, but it was, we had a great time. I mean, this is fun. The fireworks were fun. Just hanging out with family is fun. Eating too much, drinking too much, seeing a lot of people. And also, everywhere we went, we got Iowa everywhere, and the various shows, we got feedback on all of them from people who listen and like it. So that made me feel good as well. So it was great to be there at the lake. And Saturday, some bad weather moved in quickly as we're on this little restaurant. It's on the water. It's called The Landing. Ooh, I mean, it's hit quick. There's Charlie helping with it.
Charlie is just always at the ready to help any bar situation, any party situation. Yeah.
Plus, in this deal here, he also could get like a bicep up there, a little bit of a mini flex.
It'd be like, give me a really tight shirt, I'll go help.
Yeah, give me a tight shirt that reads Nile. Let me get over there and show you the bicep. But we had We had a great weekend, and Jenny and I did happy hour from her parents' house right by the dock on Friday, and that was cool. That was fun just to do it right there and
Oh, yeah.
and have the flexibility to pull that off, and it fit the mood. You know, it should be out by a dock and a lake for getting ready for the Fourth, so we appreciate that. Let's get the buzz now here on a Monday.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
Logier Heating and Cooling, providing area families with heating and cooling solutions for nearly 120 years. Buzz, not a big buzz of any one thing going on in sports here in the United States of America, specifically in Iowa, Andy, but Team USA did win the gold at the AmeriCup, and we have a Cy-Hawk connection in this, which is always cool. Hannah Stolke and Audie Crooks both played, both contributed, beat Brazil in what it might be considered a mild upset. The team had pros like Camila Cardoza on the team. It wasn't just college players. But this will make Hannah Stolke and Audie Crooks better playing at this level of competition, and neither one of them being a starter, but coming in and contributing minutes. That'll make them better players. Now it's cool they look thrilled to win a gold medal. Who wouldn't?
I'm glad they found some competition because they also found some non-competition.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, they were beating, who was the, I don't remember which team they were. You showed highlights just the other night before I left. It was.
They won by like 60.
Absolute beatdown. Some of these teams just seems like they should just sit it out.
They trailed Canada
It wasn't Canada
for a while the other day and came back and won that game. And this team from Brazil won by like 50 in their game to get to the championship. So it seemed like with the pros on the team, maybe Brazil would win the gold, but the United States came from behind to win. Now, meantime, in Gold Cup soccer, Mexico wins 2-1 to win second straight Gold Cup for Mexico. It looked good for the United States the first few minutes.
Berhalter will hook that in, looking for Chris Richards. It's off the other side of the bar. The flag comes up. The goal is given on the field. It's Chris Richards from Sebastian Berhalter. Less than 4 minutes in.
Great start for the U.S. That it is not all of our best players. This could pay dividends next year when the United States and North America host the World Cup, because thought to be subs on that team were key players on this team because some of our better players did not take part. But this leads us to a quickie poll from WCI, Pools and Spas and Ames, and Urbandale.
Do you think the USA will win the Men's World Cup in your lifetime? Yes or no?
Okay, it's a no for me, for sure, because I don't have enough time for us to get good enough at soccer to win the World Cup. The United States has won it 4 times in the women's side of the World Cup, just for some perspective here. And there's no doubt we have the talent in this country to win the World Cup if our best athletes played soccer from the time, but that more of them are more of our best athletes
talent.
Yeah. More of our best athletes end up playing football or basketball than soccer. That is changing slowly over time, but I don't think I'll make it. AD, you have the best shot at this, but we haven't really been close anytime lately.
I don't think my kids will see this. I'd be surprised if I see USA get into like the semifinals of the World Cup. I've been told my whole life soccer is growing. It's becoming better. It's bigger. And all those things are definitely true. But I don't see how we're going to catch up. It doesn't feel like it's taking a hold at that level to me. And so, yeah, I don't expect to really even compete for a World Cup championship in my lifetime on the men's side.
Yeah, I mean, we're to the point where like the mitigating factor is your lifetime, not not the talent here, not the likelihood of something like this happening. Because I mean, of course this could happen. I mean, the United States started losing in Olympic basketball long ago. How the hell did that happen? I mean, how did the United States,
the world,
stop winning all the Olympic golds in men's basketball? How did that ever happen?
That's how we ended up sending in the pros, the dream team.
But even with just the college players, how could that happen? How could the United States, how could the world catch up to us in baseball? How could Canada not win every hockey gold, or Russia not win every hockey gold? How did we beat Russia? I mean, stuff like that happens, where you have just the right collection of players that were all hungry at the right time, and they win. It seems like in soccer, the United States has not really gotten any closer in all of the World Cups that we've been paying attention to, right? I mean, maybe a little tiny bit closer.
Not enough to ever make anyone feel like, you know what, I think we might just pull this off.
Or yeah, I mean, you've never advanced past the, hey, I think maybe we could stay around into the next round of this World Cup. I mean, that's like the ceiling for everybody, isn't it? Just making the second round.
It is, and when you are like where you are, when you're anywhere else in the world, you realize soccer is football, as it's called everywhere else. It's number one. It's number one by far. I mean, almost any country you go to on earth, except the United States of America, where it's tackle football.
It's funny just the way we talk about it too. We're just like, yeah, man, we did really, really well. We beat Canada in soccer, but now we're screwed. Now we got Ecuador. And you're like, Ecuador. And people don't even know where Ecuador is. They don't know how many people it's got. The only thing you need to know is that it's in South America.
Yeah.
And that's it, right? I mean, they're in the world. If you're in the World Cup and you're not the United States, you are good at soccer and your whole country is obsessed with soccer. So, and ours is not. It's just like, I mean, I know this has to drive soccer fans crazy. It's why they just ultimately were like, screw this. I'm going to go, root for these European leagues.
Yeah. It's like, we're
this is
playing
never
a small
country.
It's a country of 296 people, but 33 of them play men's soccer, and we're heavy underdogs against them in the next round. Interact on YouTube, on X. It is Murph_Andy. That's the email address as well. Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. All powered by Cellular Advantage, the proud provider of U.S. Cellular since 1993, with 35 Cellular Advantage locations. More hot topics here. The Fever won 3 in a row with Caitlin Clark on the bench, which led Carolyn Peck to the silly hot take that the Fever are more dangerous without Caitlin Clark. And then they immediately lost at home to a bad Sparks team, making Carolyn Peck's bad take short-lived. But Kelsey Plum is now 21-1 versus the Fever. She was part of that Sparks upset this past weekend. I do see when the Fever start winning and they don't have Caitlin Clark, it does lead people to feel like, oh, maybe they're more balanced like this. But when she's out there, she draws so much attention on defense. She also has the most assists when she's playing of anybody in the league. So she sets her teammates up. And when she's not injured and hitting threes, it opens the court up. Of course, they're a more dangerous team with her playing. But everybody you have to have a Clark take to keep the league going when she's not playing.
Yeah, and maybe that's what it's about. And you make this argument anytime the best player is out and the rest of the team just has to learn to get through life without that player. It makes them more balanced. It makes them it makes them use their non-dominant hand, and that's somehow going to be good in the long run. But for the most part, they're just on a penalty kill, right? Just trying to do whatever they can to stay alive, win a few games, not just get blown out of the playoff race before they can get their main player back in. And that is encouraging that they've been able to get some wins, because I think if you watch the Fever playing well with Caitlin Clark, you see her as, not just the best, scorer on the team, but the one that sets up all the other best scorers on the team. And, losing her is such a double-edged sword. So the fact that they're able to get anything really in her absence is great. Question is what is the latest on her return?
Just day to day, she is. She's now missed more than half their games this season. That's after going 7 seasons without missing an injury. And I've seen comments of people that say, well, how is she taking part in these half-court shots and practices? And I saw her celebrating in the locker room. Well, if you've ever played sports, a groin injury, sprinting and lateral movement is a whole different thing than taking some shots during warm-ups or practice or goofing around in the locker room. And they want to make sure that she's back to 100%. Former Cyclone Tyrese Halliburton was seen publicly for the first time supporting the Fever this past weekend. Can't really see it in this shot, but you could see that big boot that he has. And he'll be in that boot for a while there after the Achilles surgery. But good to see him out and about. That letter, that lengthy letter he wrote, showed you just how down he was after getting hurt in Game 7.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm sure everybody, they love the letter, they love the effort that he put in, loved how far they got in the playoffs. But then the reality sets in that it's like you and the boot for a while, and then
it's lonely.
Then the rehab starts, and that just, I can only imagine how awful that is as a professional athlete, where you just have to just live in pain for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and even stars talk about how during that time of rehab, they start to feel isolated and they feel like they're not really part of the team like they usually are. They feel off to themselves. They miss the camaraderie. They start to, over time, feel like, I'm not contributing to the team. And some occasionally even fall into like mild depression because you're out of your routine, and he's got a long road ahead. I mean, this is a year-long process.
If you got a desk job, right? I mean, you can have any kind of injury and you're just like, well, I guess I won't be able to write anything for a while because I broke my right arm, but you can do everything else. I mean, if you're a professional athlete and you injure really almost any part of your body, that's your tools. I mean, you have to be able to use your body. You have to get your body healthy or you cannot do your job at all.
Andy was gone when the Cubs crushed the Cardinals on back-to-back days, which I'm sure he's unaware of how these games
No,
went.
I've been following it. Yeah, it's terrible. The Cardinals have been blown out, or they've been shut out so many times in the last 45 days.
I had more Cardinals talk
remember.
over the 4th because my father-in-law's that's his day is planned around Cardinals baseball. So he's always asking me for all your opinions. I'm like,
they just keep getting shut out. It's just crazy. They'll win some games, but then they're not just losing, they're scoring no runs.
Right. And yesterday
they lost a 3-game series to the Pirates where they were shut out in every single game.
But yesterday they're losing. The Cubs are beating the Cardinals 11-0 at Wrigley Field, arch rivals. So do you know how upset people have to be when how upset Cubs fans have to be when the Cubs are leading the Cardinals 11-0 when the Cubs are in first place? That's how upset Cubs fans would have to be to start booing. But that happened during Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Now, AD, I may need a little bit of help with you. This Alex Cooper, not Alice Cooper, the rock singer. Alex Cooper is like a 30-year-old influencer with a wildly popular podcast on sex.
Yeah, huge podcast. I think Who's Your Daddy? It's called. She was part of NBC's Olympics coverage.
Oh yeah. She's got a super lucrative podcast.
Really blowing up. Yeah.
Who's Your Daddy?
Or Call Me Daddy.
Call Me Daddy.
I think that might be what it is.
Do I have it wrong that's somewhat based in sex or no?
I mean, everything's somewhat based in sex.
Yeah.
Murph.
Okay. I don't know. So Who's Your Daddy?
Call Her Daddy.
Call Her Daddy. Okay, Call Her Daddy. I'm not sure what it's about. I apologize if I have that wrong. But anyway, so Alex Cooper goes to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and I guess is trying to be clever, funny. I'm not sure, but it does not go over well.
A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Mommy's a peanut and Cracker Jack. I don't care, never come back, so let's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. So it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old game.
Okay, so audio courtesy of ESPN. I think Andy,
let's unpack this.
Yeah, it does not come across to Cubs fans as being funny. It comes across as like mocking the song. And she's not Bill Murray. Bill Murray can sing it in that lounge singer voice, and maybe it's
I thought
funny.
of him. I thought of him too.
Yeah. This is Roseanne singing the anthem, or even Ditka couldn't quite get away with just like speed singing through the 7th inning stretch. Even if you're not a good singer, they would just want you to show some respect to the song in the moment.
You know what it's like, though? It's like, okay, they give you their stage. Okay, you can do whatever you want with it. But then you just decide, okay, I'm going to make this about me. I'm gonna try to be funny here. I've got some dumb bet with my friends that I won't be silly up here, some whatever. And so she is just going to go for it. And then you can tell that, 1 or 2 stanzas into it, she could tell it's not working.
Yep.
So she starts the uncomfortable fake laugh where it's like a body reflex where she's trying to make it seem like she's just kidding. I'm just kidding around here. Yeah, I know. Okay, but really, she's come too far at that point to completely try to do it seriously, and then the whole thing is burning down. Then they start booing her. But it's not like that's not some song that it's not a national anthem, but it's like that's their stage. Yeah. They don't give that opportunity to anybody. You should feel honored to get that opportunity at Wrigley Field. And then, get up there. And I think even though everybody's heard it a million times, if you get up there and you really just belt out a good rendition of it, I think everybody appreciates that. It's like the national anthem. If you just hear a good anthem, somebody that's not trying to make it about themselves and not trying to be too over the top, it's just a good, nice, sincere anthem. It's great. And even if you go into it thinking, oh God, who is this person? We don't know who this person is. If they do it well, everybody's on their side. I was watching an Instagram video on the plane of, you've probably seen this before. I feel like this is the first time I'd seen it, but it was Huey Lewis and the News singing the national anthem. And Andrew, were they at Candlestick Park back?
I think so, yeah.
I think they were at Candlestick.
He's a San Francisco guy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's a Candlestick, right. But they get up there and it's like, ladies and gentlemen, Huey Lewis and the News. And you could tell that like the crowd, San Francisco knows really good music. So you could tell the crowd was like, oh God, how did they get this gig? But they kill it. They've got these great 5-part harmonies going, and it's a great rendition of the anthem, which again
won the crowd.
You've heard it a million times. Huey Lewis and the News, but they get in there and they try as hard as they can. And you just like, well, first of all, they showed that they really do have a lot of talent, but also you could tell that they were like, oh, okay, what a great opportunity. We get to sing the anthem at our home ball field. Let's kill it. And they did. And immediately anybody that watches that video thinks more of Huey Lewis and the News.
Was it Jeff Gordon who said Wrigley Stadium?
Wrigley Stadium.
And after that, he was done. Like the fans.
Because there were people out there that were like, oh God, a NASCAR driver is going to get a chance at this. And then he gets up there. He's like, oh, Wrigley Stadium.
I'll describe this next photo.
Hello, White Sox fans.
Are not watching on YouTube or one of our other platforms. But Andy, take a look at your screen. This is Centennial and Valley Thursday night. It's about 100 degrees out. Feels like about 100 degrees
Looks
out.
hot.
And our intern Henry is out there getting the video, and he takes a shot of it. and he sends it to me. He's like, is it just me, or are they wearing the same uniforms? And they are both wearing black pinstripe uniforms. And you can play a softball game wearing the same uniforms. You can't do it in basketball,
football, or
something, or
yeah,
soccer. Right. You can get away with softball, but you shouldn't. You should, like, even looking at the highlights last night on Sound Off, or like, okay, is that Centennial batting or Valley batting? You just couldn't keep any of it straight. I'm sure it was a mix-up. Better communication next time, and don't wear black when it's 100.
Yeah, that seems like they'd be fighting over wearing, like both teams would be wearing white in that situation. That's ironic.
And now here's a look at how bad we had it with the first video game. That's the first video game. It would become Pong. And I know young people watching think, no, there's no way.
Well, that looks like, where was that played, in a submarine?
Yeah. This is what would become Pong and released to the market. Andy, you're younger than me, but you played Pong, right? Just the paddles, top and bottom of the screen.
Yeah. My dad bought, it was an Odyssey. The system was called Odyssey. And you needed like an engineering degree to hook it up to your TV. He bought it one Christmas, and we were too little to play with it. I was probably 6. He got it for himself, basically, which now I do the same thing. So,
yeah.
But he spent like all day hooking this thing up. It was hooked up to a black and white TV because we were not, chancing the one color television on this contraption. And like all the games looked the same. It's like soccer, tennis, ping pong, badminton. It was like you can play 67 games, but they were all the same game.
Basically the same game with a different name slapped on it.
They were terrible, but we were fascinated by it because you were controlling something on your own television.
AD, you don't remember Pong, do you? This is before you.
Yeah, it'd be before my time.
You have an idea what it is. Confluence is the official beer of Murph and Andy, and Confluence is where good things come together and where we are seeing a lot of old tavern that is out and about and being pushed hard by Confluence because it's become really popular. And Andrew Downs and AKC Marketing has done the merch, correct?
Yes.
Good looking stuff.
Oh yeah.
United Airlines could use some Confluence.
Well, or
and some
or
ice.
a refrigerator.
Yeah. Oh man, see my little ring light here is petering out.
What?
Dang
do you
it.
have a plug?
This is a rechargeable one. It's one of those real expensive ones. It's I'll get it all charged up for next time. Apologies. My face is going dark.
No, but here's the thing: you don't have the ring light doesn't show up in your glasses now.
Yeah. Oh, was it? Yeah.
Well, it depends which angle you'd look. If you look up, you'd see a little bit of it. It won't do that now.
Well, yeah, road lighting is a problem.
Let's get some more.
But wait, there's more from Either Or Eatery and Patio.
It's brought to you by Either Or Eatery and Patio, 6222 Grand Avenue. What's the weather there like today?
It's it feels hot to me. Let me get you an official reading. It is currently 85 degrees.
Oh, that's not that bad. Yeah, that's okay.
And it feels like 86. So yeah, not bad. Got 1 degree on the feels like.
Confluence is even though it's a Monday, I'm sure they'll be doing well on their patio. What a great patio they've got. Great food and drinks. Try that fried bologna sandwich.
Either or.
Let me say something about traveling to other countries here.
Please do.
Always, always, always partake in other countries' coffee and bread.
Coffee and bread. Okay. Didn't think you were going to say drugs.
No, I won't do that. This is
we
family program.
I've seen Midnight Express.
Yeah, and Turkey. Ooh, that goes south.
Yeah,
that goes hard south.
Yes, it does.
Tries to get smuggle that hash in. Well, I don't know what it is. I mean, in the United States, we have good coffee and good bread, but other countries have. Maybe it's because it's just a little different, but
the coffee seems stronger. Like you need less of it, and it just whoa.
The Swedish coffee has been amazing. The Scandinavians are not great cooks. I say that as someone
With
with
respect.
Scandinavian heritage.
Is Swedish fish a real thing? Like the gummy fish?
Do they really exist?
No, I mean like there. Are they
Oh,
everywhere, or is that an American thing?
I will say that we had, after we were all sitting around the table last night, and Kahala and my daughter, we had a Swedish dinner last night. We had Swedish meatballs. How cliche is that? But they wanted the fish option, so they got the Swedish fish. And we were all trying to make jokes or taking our own swings at making the jokes. Yes, I'll have the fillet of Swedish fish, please. Like it would just be a big slice of red gelatinous candy.
Right.
No, it was haddock, but yeah, the Swedes do good fish. So anyway, but their bread is great. The breakfast this morning was fantastic. Other countries have incredible bread as well. When you're in other countries, proceed with caution when you are drinking milk, eating eggs, or eating sausage. Unless you're in Germany or Poland, those are great sausage countries.
Because of upset stomach, sickness,
They just
contamination,
weird ass
mud bugs.
sausage. You're like, what the hell is in this stuff? Other countries, I mean, if you're used to American sausage, you go to other countries. I mean, Mexico's got the chorizo, that's good. The rest of the world makes just weird ass sausage. You're like, what the hell is it? What is this? You don't even want to know.
Ireland calls it pudding, and
God.
you could think
Yeah.
that you're getting like a little dish of chocolate pudding or something. It's just some weird looking
Yeah,
sausage.
other countries suck at sausage. I mean, other than
Suck
Germany,
at other
obviously,
countries.
they're the ones that they're the sausage kings. Abe Froman was the sausage king of Chicago. Germany is the
Abe
sausage.
Froman.
Yeah. Germany is the sausage king of the globe. Okay, but milk is weird in other countries. Like you got to be like, all right, let me taste it first. But almost universally, I will say, oh hell no to cheese in other countries, unless it's Italy and the cheeses from there, or you're in Switzerland, you get the Emmental or whatever. Okay, that's fine. But if somebody just hands you some random cheese in another country, just be like, yeah, no, I'm good.
It all tastes like goat cheese to me.
Well, that's the Scandinavians. It's almost all goat cheese. My grandmother
thank you.
used to eat it, but especially in Norway, they call it Gjetost, and it's brown goat cheese, and it's repellent. Okay, this is from the New York Post, so take it with a gallon of salt. But the most iconic summer sensations. Here's the list. Okay, you tell me if these sensations immediately make you think of summer and make you feel good about the fact that it is summer.
Okay.
The smell of a grill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spending time at the beach or lake.
Yes.
No doubt. Swimming in a pool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outdoor especially.
Yeah.
Driving with the windows open or the top down.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like I need to say no at some point, but I agree with all of these.
Going to fairs or festivals.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did that. I went to the downtown carnival. All the games are rigged. Spent way too much money.
There are winter festivals. They're not the same. Staying up late at night.
No, I don't really. I don't associate that with summer. I just associate that with my lifestyle.
If you've got summer vacation, that's
Yeah.
maybe that's what they're talking about. The smell of sunscreen.
Yes. Yeah, that's a childhood memory for me.
Do you like that though?
I do, because it's nostalgic for me. It makes me feel a family at the beach in the summer.
You always are
that
like, you
copper
love the
tone smell.
sense of stuff. The
Yeah.
smell of gas. Which would you rather huff, Murph? Sunscreen or like some gasoline?
Sunscreen, but I'll huff some gas too.
And chasing fireflies. That is something that wore out on me like by the time I was 10. It's like,
Fireflies here or lightning bugs?
We always call them lightning bugs.
We call them lightning bugs.
That might have to be just a really important quickie ball. Which
kind of
do
a
you call them?
Find out what they call them in Sweden. From the bowels of Instagram, we bring you the one neighborhood fireworks display that might have gone worse than all the others.
There we go. That'd be a falling game. Oh!
Oh no.
Get that! Get that motherfucker! God damn! Oh, shit! Oh, watch out! No! Get the water! Oh, shit!
This is the video that anybody who really doesn't want a neighborhood fireworks display and talks of the potential danger, they're picturing this in their mind because that came close to going way wrong, like blowing cars up.
When it's shooting into a garage, where there's gas cans and oh my God, I can't even imagine. But it's like one tube fell over, hit another tube, lit that on fire. Oh my God! All right,
that could have ggone worse.
I mentioned Garen Zanker the other day, our friend Garen Zanker the other day up in Jewel, Iowa. I went up, did just a quick little check-in with him. I forgot about his Jewel market. I didn't say anything really about that, but it has been exactly now 5 years since that little town, 1,200 people in Jewel, all got together. Their market closed, and they said, no, we have to have a grocery store.
I love that because it is so important.
It is. And they pooled together. They bought shares at $400 or $500 a piece, all pooled together, filled the store with inventory. And Garen, who we have known for years, and I just kind of forgotten, he worked at Fairway for 20 years. He had worked at Hy-Vee before that. He was a grocery industry veteran and a proud, citizen of Jewel.
A Jewelite.
Yeah, a jeweler. And they said to Garen, could you run it? And he's like, well, like who else would run it? So Garen, that's his full-time job now. He runs this little market up there, and he's kept that town together. I just think that's so cool. They had done that with the hardware store back in 2001, and it worked. So they did it again with the market. And so I really thought this is kind of Independence Week for Jewel.
I also like that the Jewel market didn't overthink the marketing or branding. Like you look at this store, you know what it is. It's the Jewel market. You can read it. You see the shopping cart. The planters are red, white, and blue. It's like, well done. Sometimes it's just a simple idea is the best idea.
Yeah, nice, clean little store that has good prices. They're not crazy expensive or anything. And it's just imagine that. I mean, it sucks when you're like, oh, God, I got dinner, everything I need, but I don't have any eggs or I have no onions.
Yeah, have to head into Des Moines.
Yeah, you'd have to drive 30 minutes like to Ames or something to get it, but you can go to the Jewel Market. Okay, let's go back to the bowels of Instagram to bring you this. One little squirrel, one big can of whoop-ass.
If he's somewhere with an acorn. Ow! Fucker, fuck me! You little bastard! Hey, fucker, get off me! He's attacking me.
He's not done.
Oh
He's not done. Here comes the squirrel again. The dog's barking at the squirrel. The squirrel's like, you want some more?
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Shoot the daggum thing. No, stay.
Oh my goodness. That opening scene, the first one, that's right out of Christmas Vacation. Where they go to the body double, the old man, and he's got the squirrel all over him on top of the toupee and all that.
It somehow makes more sense that they all just freak out over the squirrel in that movie. From the files of Some Headlines Don't Need Stories, we bring you this. Engineers suspended in India after building $2.3 million bridge with a 90-degree turn. This is for a train. How's a train?
Remember in Ames when they had the flyover and at first it didn't connect?
It was just like a foot to the left or something.
This might be worse. Good luck taking a turn with a train.
I mean, how did you get this far on this project before you realize that there's a problem? I mean, this is for a train. It's the train. It's going to be able to turn that That sharp. How
It's going to
small are
become
the
a bike
cars?
trail now.
Oh my God, it's funny. Yeah, so they all got fired. That is in Bhopal, India. Yeah, if you're looking for that. From the files of that sounds like it might be something dirty. We bring you this. NYC firefighter suspended after giving hot girls a fire truck ride.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not some metaphor for sex act or something.
Not the Urban Dictionary.
No, this is not the Urban Dictionary's definition of giving a hot girl ride on a fire truck or whatever.
He sees attractive women, offers them a ride on the fire truck.
A New York City firefighter has been suspended after giving a few hotties a fire truck joyride. An internal investigation found what's been called a growing frat house culture within the FDNY. Reports say the Brooklyn fire truck excursion happened without authorization, and concerns over safety and professionalism grew after pictures of the joyride were circulated online. Sources say that the firefighters could be disciplined as well. Yeah, they were just finding like the hottest girls to give them a ride in the city-owned fire trucks and driving them all around with the sirens going. Oh God!
It's two things at once. It's part. I can't believe they thought they'd get away with that, and I can see where this would be an effective move.
And you're like, yeah, of course this happens. I've watched Rescue Me. I've seen every firefighter show. I know what women think of firefighters, right? So,
and you know what men will do to like gain favor with hot women. If they got to move, they'll make it.
These guys are drawing the water from the well. No pun intended. That's your more, everybody.
All right. Nicely done, Andy. Time for Throwdowns.
Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns. Backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
Heartland Tire and Auto, an authorized dealer of both Firestone and Bridgestone tires. Murph, Iowa announced the new courtside riser for around 200 students. It'll be installed on the south baseline of Carver Hawkeye Arena. Do you expect this change to significantly improve the atmosphere for basketball games?
I don't know about significantly. I do know it will make it better. And most importantly, it is a step in a long needed direction. And it took way too long for this to happen. And props to Beth Getz for taking this step. It's one step. More steps need to be made. But this is just like giving people what they've been asking for years, which is a better atmosphere and students closer to the court. You can still take care of your donors. We understand how important that is. But this is needed. It can only help. It can't hurt. I suspect more is needed than this. But this is step one.
Yeah, that's well put. I can't add a whole lot to this. I mean, I think more than anything, this, I think this, first of all, it tells the fan base, we hear you. Yeah. And, we said this right when Beth got to this job. This is a good job because it's not going to be difficult to make a big difference right away. You're not going to have to do a lot of thinking about some of these changes because they've been things that people have been asking for years at Iowa. And for whatever reason, they have not been listened to. Can anybody understand why Iowa has done some of the things that they've done or not done some of the things they've done for as long as they've not done them? I mean, it's made no sense.
Hubris, life in the bubble. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a disconnect.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is Beth Getz saying, she took a little bit of time to inventory everybody's, suggestions. I'm sure this is one of the first ones that came out.
More difficult than it seems.
Then she weighed it out and said, okay, all right, this is, what potentially we can do, what we can't. But just doing something tells the fan base that you're different, that they are heard, you are concerned, you're going to try it. And I just think the overall enthusiasm for the men's basketball team behind Ben McCullum is going to be a huge boost. Even if they didn't touch the arena at all, it was going to be a boost to the atmosphere. So the fact that you now have a little bit of structural change, the coaching change, and then just fans kind of feeling a little more heard now and appreciated, I think that's all going to combine for something that does significantly improve the atmosphere.
Andy, LSU is reportedly hoping to sell ads on their football jerseys, which currently isn't allowed by the NCAA. Would you have an issue with college teams putting ads on their uniforms?
No, it wouldn't change the way I would watch the game. No, and this is another one of those things that it seems like the NCAA probably should have done a while back, just to make more money and kind of let everybody know that they were concerned, like the University of Iowa. I don't think it'll ever get to the point where it's so NASCAR'd up that you can't see the jersey or anything like that, because they perform a technical function in sports. But, this will be another one of those things where the haves get more and the have-nots have even less, because they're going to get way more money for these bigger name sponsors at places like LSU. But hey, this is coming. I just don't think it's going to change the game at all.
I prefer it not be there, but I also have seen how quickly I get used to this. When NFL teams started putting ads on their practice jerseys, there's a little bit of outrage, and then you just forget about it. Major League Baseball, helmets, uniforms, outrage at first, then you get used to it. I mean, of the things that we should be concerned about as far as agreements go, I think you have to start with sports gambling being affiliated with teams and coaches long before you worry about something like this. And the NCAA is going to have to do whatever it's told to do. The NCAA doesn't have power anymore.
Yeah, you're right. And anytime that you hear of something that like the NCAA somehow still has power over, you're kind of surprised. But Diane brings up a good point here in the comments. This is what'll make me sick if this ever happens, and I hope it doesn't. But when players and coaches have to mention sponsors in interviews, okay, that's where it jumps the shark in your eye. All right, this is ridiculous. This is dumb. This is not improving the game. This is all about money. It doesn't do anything for the fans. That's where the line gets drawn.
Yeah, we just went out there with our Pioneer seed corn offense. We're able to, use our fairway special teams defense to just turn the game around. And, the Kelderman manufacturing kickoff was returned to the 35-yard. Yeah, you don't want it to get to that.
All right, Murph, Joey Chestnut returned to the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest Friday.
Yes.
Took down 70 and a half hot dogs in 10 minutes. How many hot dogs could you eat in 10 minutes?
Before we get to that, he won this by almost 26 hot dogs. Andy, this is Secretariat at Belmont. I mean, he won by 26 hot dogs.
This is starting to change his body. I'm not talking about his stomach either. Have you noticed that his mouth now looks like an appliance?
He looks like a hot dog.
He does. He looks so greasy.
His mouth looks like a toaster oven. It's huge. It's almost looks like he had mouth implants.
When we have a hot dog night at dinner, I usually eat 2 hot dogs, and I eat too fast. I think I can eat 4 in 10 minutes. I don't think I can do more than that.
Yeah, God, man, if it's one of those things like if the Surgeon General came out tomorrow and said, "All right, hot dogs, we had it all wrong." Although I would not believe the current Surgeon General. I'll point that out. But if a reputable Surgeon General came out and said, "Hot dogs, we had it all wrong. They're good for you," I would
eat 4 in 10 minutes.
Eat a lot of hot dogs. I think I could probably do 12.
I ate so much crap this weekend.
Oh
my
God,
gosh.
yeah.
Everywhere I went, I just kept eating past the point of full and comfortable, but it just spreads everywhere I went. Just kept eating. Send your Grimaldi's fan photos to Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. Could be a photo of anything. You could be on family vacation in Sweden and send a photo of you and your family. It's presented by Grimaldi's Coal Brick Oven Pizzeria in West Des Moines and District at Prairie Trail in Ankeny. Also, a reminder, SpeakPipe, what's bugging you? Presented by Consumer Credit of Des Moines. You just call in anytime. Speakpipe.com/Murph_Andy. Have we determined if that was Hassel Friday or Wednesday?
It wasn't.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Yeah.
Andy, you were insistent that it was Hassel.
Weren't you?
Yes. But
I
you
mean,
were like, you said, I think at one point you're like, I'm 100% sure that's Hassel.
The thing that kept me from being 100% sure is that there were a few words that they said, that person said very differently than Chris does. But Chris, that was so well done. First of all, I haven't gone more than like a 3-hour span since that first aired where I didn't think about it and laugh out loud. That was so funny.
Which call in particular are you talking about? Because there were more than one.
The second one, this is Jackson, and I just wanted Scott Sipker in that salmon-colored shirt. I have 2 burning in my loins questions. Scott Sipker.
Single, ready to mingle?
Didn't think it was Hassel is because there was a line that was never crossed. Hassel can't help himself.
Yeah.
Hassel
right.
will throw something in there that's just out of this world.
The thing, though, that made me
that's a good
close to 100% sure that it was him was that the guy went after Brett Bloom, which Hassel, and those Cyclone glider Amish plastic chairs that he sits on. And Hassel just kills him on those things. But I don't know. With this guy, I hope he keeps calling because that was the greatest non-Hassel call that we've ever had. It was. I was listening to that and I was like, okay, this is kind of how I would write something like this. But the only other person that would write something like I might write it is Chris. So I just was like, that's it. That I know it's Chris. But I mean, this guy, I don't know who this guy is, but we got to hire him.
Speakpipe.com/Murph_Andy.
Yeah, keep
anytime.
coming.
Works really well. It's easy to use. It's time for the Andrew Downs audio drop of the day. We call it the AD squared.
It's powered by Game Day Men's Health. And last week, check out what they did for Chris Williams when it was his birthday. He's been going there to the Ankeny location. They got him a signed
Riley
Randy
Moss jersey.
Yeah, they signed Randy Moss Vikings jersey for his birthday from the crew up there at the Game Day in Ankeny. So
that's so nice.
That was cool, and we appreciate them. That's the one I go to. I know all those people really well. You can go to West Des Moines, North Liberty if you're on the eastern side of the state. They'll take care of you at Game Day Men's Health. A lot of barbecues over the weekend. I know I was at least a couple of them. Comedian Joey Mulinaro, who's so funny on social media, put together a skit of white guys at the barbecue.
Man, it is a nice day.
Yeah, but it's a bad day to be a cold one.
Golly, what is it? 95? I don't know. To me, it's feeling more like 24. Who put this guy in charge? You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
You know what? I actually told myself I was going to stop drinking.
Really?
Yeah. But then again, why would I listen to an alcoholic?
You almost had me. You almost had me. I know you.
Hey, I've never asked you, you got a favorite beer?
I'd probably have to say the next one. Keep him coming. Cut this guy off. Right? 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 Jesus. Right?
He's gone mad.
But it is tough to celebrate, times like this.
Yeah, it's weird out there. You think there'll actually be a war?
I don't know, but if there is, just hope there's a draft. Where did I get that from?
I pledge allegiance to the flask.
The guy in the puka beads and that shirt, that red, white, and blue shirt that Joey's wearing, it's great. Quickie poll results presented by WCI Pools and Spas.
Do you think the USA will win the Men's World Cup in your lifetime? God, 94% say no.
That is not optimistic.
It's like
either Andy, is it more pessimistic about the United States men's national soccer team, or is it more pessimistic about our collective lifespans? I think it's soccer.
Yeah.
I think it's our soccer.
That's its own quickie poll right there. Yeah, it's probably soccer. And I mean, crazy things happen in sports.
Yeah.
We are the most powerful sports country in the world. It's just we know what happens when you don't give a shit. or at least not enough of a shit. I mean, you lose. You're just not gonna pull it off. It's not gonna work.
Where will you be Wednesday when you attempt to, if nothing else comes up? And as I've told you, if family plans, anything interrupts, of course, join your vacation. But what is your tentative plan for Wednesday?
The tentative plan, we will be in Copenhagen in Denmark. So we get on the train tomorrow and we go about 6 hours southwest. So to Copenhagen, we have to put the train on the ferry.
Get a dip.
Yeah, gotta go home of the smokeless tobacco. Yeah. I have spent a good amount of time in Copenhagen. It was really fun, and I'm kind of looking forward to going back now. But it's going to be a kind of a long trip. I believe that's where I will be on Wednesday.
Well, it's appreciated. Join us. Nice to be able to peek in on your family vacation. Enjoy. Gosh, enjoy. It'll go too fast, but enjoy.
Thank you. Go dog. Adieu.
Thank you for being part of Murph and Andy and supporting local media here on Iowa Everywhere, both in Iowa and Sweden. Please like and subscribe and invite your friends to join the party anywhere in the world, as Andy just proved. We are back Wednesday. We hope you are too.
Murph and Andy was brought to you by Ramsey Subaru on Hickman Road in Urbandale.